Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over three codes. One of them is a lane detection of a simple image. The next one is a lane detection of a video. And the next one is a lane detection of a video where we're switching lanes, and we're going to see how each code is affected. So we're going to start off with the simple image. Uh, this, we're using the NumPy packages, CV2. That's really it. We're going to import the packages at the top. Next, we have a function that snips the region of interest. It's really the same thing that we did in class. Then we mask the region of interest. Again, very similar to what we did in class. Um, then we grayscale it using HSV filter and a grayscale filter. Um, throughout these videos, we're going to mess with the threshold a lot in order to get the values that we need. Next, we blur the image using Gaussian blur, detect the edges using Caney function, detect the lines using Hough lines. And after we get the lines, we're going to plot the lines onto the frame by finding the intersection points. All right, now let's run this. This is the simplest of all the codes. As you can see, it does what we expect. Plot the Hough lines, the mean of the Hough lines on the right and left hand side, green being left, blue being right. And we simply connected those points together to show the center of the road. All right, this code is our first video. We can see here it works pretty well. The lines are moving, showing that it's changing with each frame. Blue being right, green being left, and shows the center line of the road. Things that we changed up here compared to the last one would be we have a Hough line of 20 and a threshold of 90 before it was 100. So next, this when plotting the lines onto the frame, I created functions to do that instead of putting it in the main. This is so that it can reference the functions for each frame instead of going through the main function. And it's the same thing as the last one. We snip the image, we mask the image, we grayscale the image, we blur the image, and then we edge it, line it, and this is where it gets a little interesting. So here we're taking the sum of the mean of the array. So I was coming up with a problem where anytime a NaN value came through, it would kill the program because that cannot be used. So after we find the lines, the lines on the image, we take the mean of the lines using the hue function. After that, we sum up the mean in order to see if it is a nan or a real number. And then we use the command isNan in order to find if the mean is returning nan values or real numbers. The reason I do this is because nan values kills the program and doesn't let the video continue. After this, we do an if-else statement where if it is a nan, we use the previous mean value. If it's not a nan, we use the current mean value. Then we use the same functions as before, plotting the lines onto the frames. And we save the previous mean here. Next, we're going to go to video number 2. So this video did not work as well. As you can see, the grayscaling is not perfect, the blurred is not perfect, and the edges are not perfect. I believe in order to fix this eventually, the grayscaling thresholds would need to be changed. But I was coming into the problem where if I change the threshold too much, I wouldn't get any hue lines at all, which would cancel my code. So as you can see in the video, the blue line, which is the right line, is pretty good, staying steady on the outside of the lane, but the right line is getting a lot of noise within the filters that just didn't quite filter out as needed. So if I were to spend more time on this code, I'm sure I would be able to get it more perfect, but as it sits, it is not perfect. This code is the same thing as the last code. I changed the threshold. I played with changing the values of the yellow and white filter mask in order to kind of change this. The problems I was coming up with was the yellow and white mask were too close to the color of the road, and it either showed up all of it or showed up none of it. And so what I have right here is the best I could do with what I was given. Other things I played with were the low and high thresholds on the detection edges and different blur ratios for the Gaussian blur. I also changed the shape of the snip in order to better confine the frames that I filtered. And this is it. I'll play the first video one more time to show kind of what this is supposed to look like when run perfectly. Finally, I will put the links to all the code at the bottom of the YouTube video. I hope you guys, if you guys have any comments, please comment below. If you have any questions, please comment below.